Right, Q&A, it's a King King Kiyombi. Today is October 11th, 2024 here in Pacifica, California. 12 miles of San Francisco, 53, 64. That is 11 to 18 degrees Celsius. Right now is the time where when the climate starts changing drastically, even if it seems kind of warm, that is when you have to kind of be careful because this is the time when the medakas are super vulnerable. Let me just take a real quick sip. Before I do that, man, the metal. I haven't done the metal medaka. The metal medaka today is. Oh boy. Oh, that was a good one. Um, I had to come to the garage just pick up some stuff, but this man, this is a 2026 or seven Gibson Zach Wild custom shop Flying V. The first one, you get the German original Floyd Rose. You have the EMG 81, 89, and this custom bullseye stuff. And yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that one will go home. But that being said, what am I doing here? Just to answer some questions that I've been getting about the raffle, just because I do not know how to explain things really well. So right now on a Friday night, I'm just going to attempt to kind of go through. I mean, so number one question: I live in the European nations. By the way, I'm in the garage. Can I be a part of the raffle? Yeah. The only time, there was a time where I was raffling out food, and there was a gentleman from Australia. And the thing with Australia is like they're really strict. So if I wanted to send a bag of like fish food, which this will be a part of the raffle as well. I just found this in my bin. It's I can't ship food. It won't go through customs. So aside from situations like that, this time around, I said I was going to do this side viewing. It's basically this. These are awesome. It has all the measurements in centimeters, and they're inexpensive and they're durable. And I think I've been using this one for like 2 years. It's not as clear anymore, but it works. But I was saying this was going to be on the raffle. I know I'm going everywhere, but and then I was thinking, well, it's freaking Halloween, so the Medakas will prefer munchies, so I may just change it up this time. And this is like Hikari, perfect for young juveniles. So I might just switch it up to this since it's trick or treat time over here in the U.S. So I may just change it up to this, and then maybe this on the following one, and then we have the T-shirt and all that stuff. So questions. So another question about like how do I become a friggin' member? And I know I am doing a horrible job. So let me introduce you to to why I'm able to consume these beers. So I have so when you go on to YouTube, there is the subscribe button, right? On if you go to my channel or whatever you call it nowadays. And then right next to that, there's a join button. And it's weird. You can't do it while you are on your smartphone, on YouTube, on an app, because it doesn't let you allow, it does not allow you to do that. So you got to be on a computer or something. Basically, you have to have your browser open. You have to go to youtube.com and then find me. And when you do that, you'll see the subscribe button. And then next to that, there is a join button. When you hit the join button, I have two tiers, I guess. And the first tier is just like become a Medaka head, and it's 99 cents. That's in USD. And then the second tier is beer fund, where I think it was like 199. And the perks you get are I'll do member only short uploads, I guess. Stuff that I don't really show or talk about too much. I'll try to do that once in a while. The other thing is for the Medaka donors or the beer donors. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like the beer I'm having right now is I misspoke already, man. I had too many brews. Let me just take a real quick sip and recalibrate my brain. All right, so the best beer of the day goes out to Fire Harp Sun. Let me just crack open another one. I know this is completely boring, but I want to do this. This sip goes at the Fire Harp Sun. Oh yeah, and H Sun. Thank you so much for your beautiful words, man. It meant a lot. Nico's Fish Son that recently got harassed by the raccoon. Mr. Andy, Mr. underscore Andy underscore Yulson. Oh. And somebody just that lives up north, probably like an hour away, Lauren Marshall-san. Domo arigato. So that's tier 2. And I don't even know if that's like a benefit. But, however, there's another differentiation. And this is, I was like, what else can I do to differentiate the 2 tiers? So I'm planning on doing like random raffles. There's nothing expensive. It's just stuff that I use a lot of times. By the way, stuff that I use. This is something you could buy. Daiso of Japan. They're expanding a lot in the U.S. Dodgers. I don't watch baseball, but like, it just seems like Ohtani has become like this super king over here in the National Baseball League. They're playing against San Diego right now, or I think right now as we speak. I think it's either if they win, they go, or they move on. But I think he's sponsored by Daiso. But what I'm trying to say is Daiso is where I get a lot of my stuff. Like most of the questions I get, to be honest, like, where did you get this? Where did you get that? So this thing is, believe it or not, this thing's been sitting outside for like 2 years, and it's plastic, so it's starting to fade. But when they're brand new, they're crystal clear. And this is something that they sell at the kitchen spice section. I just buy a bunch of these. So they look like this. They come with a spoon, right? It's clear. It's thick. They have a smaller version like this, right? But these are so like awesome for when you just want to simply scoop up fish. So you don't have to have an actual specimen container specific. You could like always find things in the kitchen section. But I just like going to Daiso just because they're inexpensive and they have tons of cool stuff. A lot of the top breeders will go to Daiso and purchase this and use it as a specimen container. It has a handle, you just scoop up, and a lot of people will put like black backgrounds so that they could see the Medakas more and all that. But there's a lot of DIY stuff that you could do. So when you go to the store, they look like this, right? You could actually use a spoon to scoop up fry too. It's pretty awesome. This small one I don't use too much, but this larger size I use a lot. But for some reason, I shouldn't say for some reason, it's like a lot of people are interested in knowing like where do you find these things. While I am on the topic of Daiso, just going like on a random. I'm supposed to talk about like how do you become a member and all that stuff, but all this is Daiso. These are the best buckets in the world. Inexpensive, super durable. Everything is over here in the garage just because, like, you know, the raccoons, man. I had to kind of clear everything out from outside. All these are from Daiso. I put, lava rocks in here. Throw them in the tubs that I had. And they just, you know, it collects beneficial bacteria. The aeration thing I have going over here is basically this stackable container that I get at Daiso. I just throw in lava rocks, throw in an air tube in there, and it's kind of like a DIY filter. It's super easy. It works well. So Daiso is the Medaka Head friend. I wish they would sponsor the Medaka Head community, man. That'd be kind of awesome. But let me take a real quick sip. All right, and then so the raffle. So there is another difference between tier 1, tier 2. Let me just take a real quick sip. These sips go out to my other Medaka, official Medaka heads. Tier 1, Fox Sake-san. Lindsay's Tank-san. Nino Franklin-san. Rocky's Garage-san. Let me take a second. So over here, see, with the Raccoon Attack Outdoors, I had to just plan for the indoor Medaka thing for this winter season. So I'm just like setting up these temporary like aquariums inside the house, and I had some eggs popping, and these tubs over here, they're just, the eggs are starting to kind of hatch and pop, and it's hard to see like that one's like a metal riff. So it's a cross between the Midnight Furolame and the Red Cliff originally, which I started calling the metal riffs, and it's their offspring. So they are now like F2, but they're kind of thriving in here in the garage. It's a little warmer than outside. So that's what they are. Oh boy. Domo arigato, Rocky's Garage-san. Jen Nolta-san. Oh yeah. Man, I shouldn't say man, but thank you so much again for the words and all. And Christian Aquino-san. Mr. Golden Arm-son, this one's for you. Niels Hansen-son. Oh boy. Did I send you a sticker yet? I forgot. Nicole Erz. Yeah. Local buddy, Mr. 10, son. Cameron Kilmer-son. And Icky's Aquatic. Icky's, like, I was like, how do I pronounce this? I guess in the zoology world, ichthyology is a term for fish-related zoology. I did not know that, but that's where he said he got his name from. So it's a real quick one. And the newest member, the newest Medaka head, Les DL Sun. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Man, thank you so much, man. we're just like, I think we went back and forth a little bit about how soothing this hobby is, and it definitely puts me into place. A lot to learn, just learning about life and everything. It's hard now. I think it's really hard nowadays for especially younger people, younger generations, that like I was lucky that I still had to go to a library. I still had to go outdoors and play with my friends. Like back in the 70s, played ice hockey outdoors until, the sun just disappeared. But because that was how I was able to socialize with people and have fun, right? But nowadays, you're kind of you're in a digital world, and if you were born in this digital world, you're kind of just like tapped online. So a lot of kids don't venture out. They don't see nature. They just see what's on the screen, or what's uploaded, or these virtual games and all that, and they have virtual friends from all over the world, and that's all good and dandy, but I think kids are missing out a lot. And I think with hobbies like this, when you're actually creating a world, right, in a little tub like this, and you're seeing life, and you're seeing them just, seeing nature create another generation. It's just, I think it really makes you, or I think for me at least, I take a step back. I take a few steps back, and I just kind of, think about just random stuff, like what it means to just be living. You're not in this like make-believe world of video games, and just like even social media. It's not real per se. People, I think, can become who they envision who they are. And I think a lot of the people that are watching that just believe that that's who they are, but it's not, right? It's so I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but hey man, I had to go to the library because I had a test in that one book that I needed, or to write a research. Man, it was like somebody else had it. So what do you do? I mean, Google didn't exist, so what do you do? Right? So random stuff like that. All right, I know I'm rambling on. There's nothing really I want to talk about today, except for just trying to explain, like, how do you become a member? Just hit the join button. There are two tiers. Tier 1 is become a MEDakaHead. Tier 2, become a beer donor per se, and the best beer of the day will go out to you. There is another I saved the last, best for last, basically. So when I do the raffles, and this is in no means, I am trying to do this raffle for this whole membership thing. Honestly, it just came because I needed to differentiate tier 1, tier 2, aside from just saying thank you for the beer, or the best beer of the day goes out to you, because that's pretty meaningless. So when I do the raffles, I'll put the names in here, right? So if you are tier 1, you get like 1 ticket. If you're tier 2, you get 2 tickets. So theoretically, you get double the chance. And I shake it up, and then I'll just pull a number is associated to the members and all that stuff. So hopefully I was able to answer some of the questions or the confusions that I may have created from not being able to explain too much stuff. So the reason why I have both of these over here is the number one cause of your fry disappearing is actually the fries that like develop a little faster size-wise. They will kill the smaller ones. So whenever I see a larger one trying to hit on a smaller one, they're not trying to eat them. They just attack them because they're territorial, right? You see them chasing. When I see one that's a little bigger chasing, I will remove them into the tub that I have over here. So like right now, I have one in here. That one over here on the bottom. That one was harassing like all of these little ones over here. So I'm like, oh man, I need to remove them. Some of the larger ones, like this one's larger than the other ones, but this one doesn't have the tendency to peck on. Because with the pecking, the little ones just get killed, right? So that's why I have two of these set up over here. There's nothing special. Water, my DIY filter, little aeration. You don't want to put too much because you don't want them to be fighting the current because they'll get tired and they'll die. And I just have this cheap Amazon shop light LED. Nothing special over here. The water's turning nice and kind of green. With the green is phytonutrients, so they constantly need to eat because they don't have stomachs. So with this, I know there's something living in there, and all microscopic, but there's something in there for them to consume at all times. So I like green water, and there's definitely stuff in there. All right, I talked about, what did I forget? So the trick or treat. So I may change this up. I was saying that the next raffle is this end of the month, but I'll just switch it to this. It's quality food, and I happen to have one of these Hikari completes left. It's like a medium-sized pebble, and it's quality stuff. The expiration day is 2024 December. A lot of the stuff that I personally use, I would not sell, but I personally use is expired. But they all have to put dates on here. As long as after you open it, you make sure that you seal the top. It's all good. So this one is still good, but it will expire in December. But don't worry about it. It's all good stuff, quality stuff. So, and I think so. I'm going to switch it to this for the next raffle. I will do this maybe next week, like end of the month or whatever. So for the people that are members, you will automatically be entered in here. If you're tier 1, you get 1 ticket. If you're tier 2, you'll get 2 tickets. So that's what the difference is, and that's all it is. Okay. Oh boy, I don't even know if I was able to answer some of the questions, but most of the questions are where did you get this? Where did you buy that? So, but this thing from Daiso is your best friend. It's freaking awesome. It's inexpensive. It lasts forever. It's freaking thick. Whenever I go there, I just grab 1 or 2, just because I know that I'll be using it forever. There's a lot of other fancy stuff, but it's this is the easiest to use. Like, this is the easiest to use. It's super inexpensive. And you just kind of toss it around and you don't have to worry about it. If you spend a lot of money, like some of this stuff will cost you $20, but like if you spend $20 on something like this, you're going to be super careful. Like you don't want to scratch it and all that. And it just, you end up not using it just because it's like freaking $20, right? The other thing, or the other question is like, what are these nets? They're called tamos. These were specifically designed for medakas in Japan, and they are. And certain shapes depending on what your container is, like certain sizes based on like what kind of size. Like this is way too big for this. I have a small one. This one over here, I mean, it's a little too small for this, but it works when you have like flat surfaces, right? The round ones you see work well when you're like scooping up medakas from, like, say, like a bucket, right? So the shape is important. The form factor. This just feels like a chopstick. It's awesome. It's super light, the wood, and it's just the size. It's so easy to manipulate the movement, and a lot of it comes to not just the shape, the size, but how soft the material is, the net, and how deep it is. If it's too shallow when you scoop something, it'll just jump out. If it's too deep, when you're trying to move, relocate, they kind of get tangled and stuck. So there's this like perfect harmony where it's not too deep, it's not too shallow, where you could scoop, and when you want to twist and release, they easily pop out. So they're not jumping all over the place because it's too shallow. It's not too deep enough where you're trying to, kind of like go, 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 and they're just like jumping around, caught dancing around in this mesh. So the more you use, you'll kind of know what style you like, and that is why there are so many different tamo manufacturers in Japan. It's not like I could just use one. No. There, for certain purposes, certain setups, there is a perfect tamo. And tamos are not cheap because there's this whole craft going on. It's like a tool of the trade. You need a good tamo. You need multiple depending on your setup and your needs and all that stuff. But it's a tool, but you won't know which one is perfect for you until you start using one. Just this grip, this weight. It's just like, I could talk for days about this stuff, by the way, but yeah, finding the perfect tamo is very important in this hobby. So. All right. Enough of me. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. Trick or treat for the medakas. I figure Halloween is coming around. So this is the last pack that I have. So let me just make sure that it's in good hands. And domo arigato for all your support and the super chat that I get randomly, and like it's freaking awesome that we're getting together and all that. So if you have any questions, hit me up, DM me on Instagram at MedakaMetal. You could just leave a comment on these episodes, and I will respond to every single one of them. So just ask me questions. And if you become a MedakaHead member, just send me your address and I'll send you the sticker. And if you are a member, the raffle's coming up. So hopefully it's like the stuff that you want. And I'm trying to choose things that you can't or is not available here in the U.S. readily. Yeah. It's stuff that I bring back from Japan when I go back home. So, all right, enough of me. Again, domo arigato, all you MedakaHead members out there, and I really, truly appreciate it. And hopefully, every single time I don't remember what I'm talking about, just because I babble. But hopefully, there are some information, like something new. That's the whole purpose of doing this. So, all right, enough of me. We'll do it again. Maybe tomorrow. I got to move a whole bunch of medakas tomorrow, so I probably will, but domo arigato. All right, happy Friday. We'll do it again, and again. Saturdays tomorrow. All right. MEDAKAMetal at Instagram outs.